motion to reconvene our BET meeting?
So moved.
Second.
It's got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right. Let's kind of continue on where we left off. One thing that I would like to make sure of, it's something we talked about the other day, today in BOCC, there was a few items that were related to some tort claims, some lawsuits, whatever, that will need to be paid for out of the self-insurance fund. It's going to be $42,000. So I'd ask Danny to kind of look into that and see if we need to allocate more for next year to start off.
Yeah, to date, we did the estimate based on what we anticipated we would spend this year. To date, we've only paid out a little less than $40,000. So we've got about $70,000 available. I would just recommend that maybe we just put it on the watch list for September. I think we'll be okay the rest of this year, and then we'll have money in reserve if we need it in July or August, but just kind of watch it.
Okay.
Looks like we're gonna have enough to get through this year, even with that $40,000, but may have to supplement a little bit in September.
Good.
Don't you have to wait for a judicial order to pay them?
No, this is for like expert costs and depot fees and stuff, not settlements. No. Just want to make sure that we had talked about that and make sure that that didn't change our game plan.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's a big chunk out of self-insurance. So it's not that, we try to budget $100,000 in there, but I think we'll be all right.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. So does anybody want to go back on any of the items that are already highlighted yellow? If not, then we have the orange items left. So let's just dive in.
Can I start with juvenile detention? I just had it highlighted because I wanted to check the benefits. I went back and recalculated it. It was a lot higher just because of the health premiums. I had a shift in single family with the increase. So the benefits looked right. So I went back and checked it. So
Okay.
that was the only lingering question on that one. Can I get yellow?
Yeah.
Go forth.
All right.
Election board, was there a conversation with election board?
Yeah, Micah visited with Kelly out at the election board. They do have that grant fund. There's about $123,000. It's very restrictive what they can use it for. She said they can use it for M&O expenses. So Kelly was comfortable with rolling back their M&O, keeping it flat, and they could cover the M&O expenses out of that. But that would be the only thing she thought they could use it for going forward.
Right at the top.
So just roll the M&O back to the $183,690, which is about $49,000 less than what they're asking.
Well, if they can use $120,000 out of that money on M&O expenses for next year, do we need to? If we take $49,000, is that what you're saying? Take $49,000 off, so that still leaves like $60,000 in that grant money for them to be able to use for other M&O expenses.
She was just unsure with the elections coming up, and she couldn't be here today. We asked her if she could come. She was out today or had something go on today. So,
but the M&O, she was certain.
She was okay with us leaving it as is. Yeah. I mean, they're really good about
they are
back money or
They are. I'm just wondering if her money has a time limit on it,
That's what I was wondering.
and we lose it anyways if we don't. And maybe it should be by these.
Yeah, I guess if we,
Balance that.
so that's 49, let's say $50,000, and they had, what, 120 left, so that's $70,000. So theoretically, if there's other M&O expenses that they can use that on, if there's a time limit on it, they could use it for this year and then just lapse that $70,000 back,
Next year.
potentially. Okay. All right, then let's go ahead and pull that out and see where we're at. And then general government, what did we have left to discuss in there?
Bond piece.
Yeah, I did reach out to Kelly Thomas. I don't know if you saw that email.
I did, thank you.
To you, but I think there was a little confusion. We still have 4,000 for bond admin fees. The increase was for the bank fees, so she sent me some examples of what they've spent this year.
Yeah, she gets those from Kathy.
Okay.
I think it says per Christie at the top of every memo, but I don't see it.
Oh.
Kathy takes care of it, and rightfully so. She handles that bank statement. That's our BOK fees for our general fund
Mm-hmm.
when bank fees exceed any short-term interest. I don't know why it's in there though, because I thought in general government in years past it would use professional services, the 54455, and say professional services bank fees, and we've always had bond fees separate. So I don't know if she was just trying to combine the two or got confused. To me, they're two totally different things, but that would be my suggestion, is just do another, 54455 professional service / bank fees, so we can track them separately. And leave the 4.
So was there a dramatic increase this year?
There has been.
Okay.
Interest is.
Okay.
Yeah. Last or to date, they've spent bank fees about 50,000. I'm sorry.
I think 50 is what we
33,000.
budget.
And she still has 50,000 encumbered. So today we've spent about 33,000.
Okay. So we need to include that extra amount for next year is what I'm hearing. Okay, let's go ahead and
Yeah, I would just probably say
include
one
that.
line.
All this bank fees and on that admin fees. Which is what this is for 4,000.
Yeah, I thought they were all still considered professional services.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I did look at some of the sinking funds, and they do have expenses out of some of the sinking funds for Parliament and
Maybe that's, once I pass those on to Kelly Thomas, or, like, I'll get an invoice for a bond admin fee, and I'll either hand it to Sandy if it's the PBA bond, but if it's our other general government, I've given that to Kelly Thomas to come out of here. We can get, you have to
Being
show
I
me where
couldn't
you're
see,
seeing it.
did you, I know you added that new line. Did you take the old number out from the other line that it was in?
Yeah, because it was 35.
Okay.
We just want to clean up that 5 codes.
get together and maybe figure that out. Let's see.
Yeah.
to show me what you're looking. Are you looking at other people or ours?
Well, I looked at ours and I used to put it in for ours, but it never came out.
I've just, ever since I've done them. I
I
mean, if we
went back
can,
and
that's
looked
fine.
at some old years.
I mean, one's 200 twice a year, and the other one's, I think, another, they're not much.
Right.
I mean, 4,000 is even pretty kind of high, because PBA has the 1,500 that's semi-annual. So it's not a lot, whatever. They both get paid off, our two get paid off next year, 2023. Maybe we just look at it going
As I'm
forward.
leaving, we'll get paid off, and if that one gets approved, then
We can roll it in then.
Danny's problem.
Okay, so Danny, did you
Yeah,
include that
I did.
in there? Okay.
So we've got two lingering items left on general government, the insurance premiums, and then our discussion about the employer premiums for the criminal justice authority.
Which all we know on the insurance premiums as of now is that they are going up, but we don't have a dollar amount. That was the estimate given to us by HR.
How soon do we know those? Is it pretty quick after the first of the year? I'm sure we have our insurance binders things go just,
I think it's
Year by
usually
year.
done by now.
I think that's what I'm. We always do a watch list thing there if we don't know. I mean, it seems like once we have those riders or binders, whatever they're called, and, I mean, it's set in stone for the year. If we know the hard dollars. I wonder if they have to pay it right away.
Yeah, they might.
So,
I mean, I guess we can either roll it back and watch list it, or we just rely on what HR told us at the most recent, our last known information would be.
Well, since we know that they are going up, could we just use the information that
That's
we
what I'm
have?
thinking.
mhm.
Especially if they have to come in the first of the year.
Again, we could always adjust that in September. If we put too much in general government, we can
That's true.
slide it down
Go
to
the other way.
reserve. Or we could even do it in July or August.
Let's just leave it with our last known number from.
So are we including the increase at this point? Okay.
If they need it, they'll use it, and then we can always.
There will be other areas in general government that will likely need some adjustments.
But it's just that.
So Danny, you've made the adjustment to add the 195 back in there?
Yeah, I never took it out. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So what's our reserve look like?
And what's your difference on your total sources over to the far left? 111, 418, but over here it's a 111.
That's this year. That's our
Oh,
current
okay,
year
okay,
budget.
I'm with you. This is tough.
All right, any suggestions?
Just an FYI, last year we had, once we were all said and done, we had 1,158,000 put in reserve.
How much again?
1,158,000
1.
to start the year. Yeah.
Well, but before or after the COLA last year?
It
Included the COLA. Yeah. So the 3% was already worked in there. And I did send out the, or whomever, Karen sent out the cost of living. We talked about some different options, most that would be.
And when you ran those numbers, did you back out any that wouldn't be able to get it because of the maximum salaries and everything?
Yes, yeah.
Last year there's 1.158. What's kind of the precedent like in prior years? Do you know? I mean, is it usually always north of $1 million or?
We can look here.
I would say the last several years it's been at least $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't remember doing.
Yeah, so it seems a little tight to fund a COLA.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna get more available, in the September supplement. We can't count on it. And traditionally, we've tried to get, 1.5, close to 1.5. They're in reserve because of being self-insured and not knowing exactly what our employee benefits account is gonna do. So,
Well, this was the prior year. This was COVID year where we really didn't do anything. So this is not a good example. We just stayed truly with the flat budget, did it all in September. But one more year.
I don't know if I'd be comfortable going under $1 million anyway.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I would not.
Probably before that, because you have to do it. Well, no, that's my home.
Okay, so fiscal year 1920 is 5.1 million. Good old days.
What was that last item in general government?
Criminal Justice Authority, their increase in their health premiums, their estimated increase.
Yes, we need to decide on that.
Taking the average, what they've paid out this year, using that average number, like next year's rates.
What was the submitted amount that they submitted for the difference?
12 million?
No, like on just the
Oh,
benefits portion? $2.1 million.
On their estimate needs.
Yeah. So 6.1 for that.
6.1 versus, what was it, 4.2 or something like that, yeah, $2 million.
What was such a big disparity there? Because you're taking the average number of employees they currently have versus.
They're probably going on the 400.
They're
They're
taking-
going on the
But-
400.
But the first estimate of needs that they presented to us, that they said was off of the 400, and it was off of the higher rate, right? Danny had verified that.
Yeah.
It was, I think, 2 million or 1.5 million or something lower than what their most recent estimate of needs was for health insurance, which kind of baffled me. I've got the number somewhere. But
This is their original 5 million.
yeah, 5 million versus 6.1 for 1.1 million. And that's apples to apples as far as number of employees that they're asking for.
And they have a lapse from this year.
Yeah.
1.5.
I think the most recent estimate was the 1.3.
1.3.
Yeah, 1.3 million lapse.
Well, I'm on the B team, the minor league, but why wouldn't we just put this in on the watch list if they have a lapse?
Okay.
My 2 cents.
We have to move you up.
Moving us right along.
Just leave the college for the six.
Does anybody have issue with that?
Works for me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Works for me.
September.
And it treats everybody kind of the same. Those of us have general fund that can't lapse money to pay for the increase. We have to have the extra money to do that, but they have the lapse that can cover that plus have $1 million on top of that based on that 1.3. So
Make a motion. Do I need to?
No,
All the other
you
stuff
don't,
we
you don't
can
need to
go-
make a motion, everybody was kind of in agreement.
Oh.
And that puts us to where if for some reason we don't have increased funds at September, we still have at least $1.5 million in reserve to be able to address potential employee benefit needs and a few $100,000 that we could maybe address some of those other items that we put on the watch list, some of the new positions that we talked about, or capital needs and different things.
Sounds good.
You still have general government.
All right, is everybody comfortable with this? Based upon our discussions, it would leave a little over 1.8 million in reserve. Does anybody have anything else to add? Any issues, any questions, concerns?
I mean, we've got time before Thursday, we could send this out, let everybody look at it again, hopefully the departments will look at it, if there's any issues with allocations, which we don't think there is, but if there is, maybe committee in.
Well, and I'm sure you already have, but it would give you an opportunity to go over your numbers and make sure that all the formulas are in there and correct.
Definitely.
So is everybody good moving forward based on this?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get back together one more time after departments have had a chance to look at this. Danny's had a chance to verify all the formulas. We don't have any errors in there. And then assuming there's no issues with departments and issues with the formulas or anything, we could get back together to talk about this being a recommendation.
Sounds good.
All right. Then, unless anybody else has any other idea, I don't think we need to belabor today anymore, other than deciding when we want to get back together.
What does tomorrow look like?
I'm open tomorrow, Wednesday. I just have to get on my agenda.
No, it's for budget board, it's Wednesday morning.
Is this room available tomorrow afternoon?
I've got something at 3:30, but if we start at 1 like we have been, we should have plenty of time to be done.
Yeah, we're just kind
Does 1 work for everybody tomorrow? Marcy,
Yes,
you gonna be here tomorrow at 1?
I will if Mike's not.
She's Marcy Mike.
The M&M crew.
Yeah.
All right.
She replaced it.
Without any other business to be discussed, is there a motion to recess this meeting until tomorrow at 1 o'clock? Same room?
So moved.
There's a motion, a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thanks, everyone.